Hey, it's Mia.
It's Kennedy,
And this is the Silver Lining Podcast with M&K.
Today's topic is friendships. Some of you may know, and some of you may be new, but we have been friends for... Can we do math?
Like our whole life.
Literally our whole life. But to put a number on it, I think like 13 or 14 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Since we were like
literal children, like for as long as I can remember,
pre-K,
we were friends.
actually.
Pre-K.
So, I think that we have some pretty good insight as to friendships and all about them and the ebbs and the flows and the we're close and we're not. All of that. It's been pretty healthy, like really healthy, but we in our own lives have been through friendship breakups and betrayals and all of that, and so we're just gonna get into that today.
Okay, so let's start off with a healthy friendship.
Okay.
I feel like our friendship is a great example. I feel like it's a great representation of what that is.
I think there are multiple components that go into this, so I think one of these things is the fact that we're able to communicate with each other. And part of that comes from the fact that we're always on the same wavelength. Like, it's actually crazy. Sometimes we can say the same thing at the same time. But the things that we don't can already tell from literal, like, telekinesis or whatever. We communicate to each other what we're feeling, what we're thinking. And I think that makes it really healthy, because without communication comes misunderstanding and confusion.
Right.
So I think that that's something that's really healthy that we do. And the second component I think that we do is give each other space. Like, we're not always on each other, and then I think that makes us like want to be with each other more, because we're not like completely like, oh, we're hanging out like every single day and we don't give each other any time to breathe. So I think also, like, obviously, like, letting us have other friends and all of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I feel like that's so, because there's a lot of jealousy and this and that can come with it, but I feel like it's the space that we have, like, it's very healthy in the air. So if there's something, you can communicate it. Like, it's never like,
we're never scared.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm trying. It's so comfortable,
right? It's
so open, it's so everything.
And I think that familiarity comes from us being around each other for so long,
right?
And also trusting that person will not judge you for whatever you want to say. I feel like there was a point in time, like, in our friendship where we had been friends for so long. Like, this is my elementary school friend, and once we got into talking about like different topics that we had never talked with each other before, it was like it was
a transition for sure. Yeah.
So trusting that anything that I say, she won't like look at me differently for it, is the best thing ever.
I think that that's like a huge part. Like, we were kids, we were children. Yes. I mean, we're 16, 17, but we were like 4, 8, and
6,
so
7.
I feel like that in us playing on the playground and dumb stuff, like kid stuff, and then to transition to be high school and talking about college and
having
your future,
and all
right?
Of
just
stuff.
Everything that comes with just being a teenager.
Yeah,
like, you have to not change the friendship, but it has to like evolve as y'all both grow, and y'all can grow together, and instead of one person. Or you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's something that I wanted to talk about, like friendships, having that ability to evolve as you grow in different stages. Because I think that there's something that we both talked about having like a class friendship. You only talk in class, or you only talk in school, you only talk at church. But the friendships that you really want to lasting over time. So like, when you say, oh yeah, you're gonna be my bridesmaid, like, are you really gonna be at my wedding? I don't know. We have to make sure that friendship can last time. And again, I think that no judgment, because people are going to make bad mistakes. People are going to be in bad situations, and it's up to you to be there for them instead of casting judgment on them, because if you judge them, then that person's just going to be like, oh, okay, like I'm not going to include her in what I'm talking about anymore because you don't feel safe to talk about it, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's very important to categorize your friendships, as you were saying, like a school friend, just a friend that you're gonna have for this long. Like it's sometimes it is conditional.
Yeah.
Friendships can be, and I think it's important to know that and to you can't be best friends with everybody.
Right.
I feel like that's something that a problem that everybody like runs into. You cannot have 3,000 people that are your best friends.
Yes.
I feel like you have to have like a handful, like a maybe
Yeah.
not even.
Because then there's no substance. When you
Yeah.
have, and I feel like I've been in periods with that because, or like where I'd be, have this friend and this friend group and this friend group, but you're not really connecting with any of them. It's just kind of like surface level friendship. And those are the friendships that don't move on because there's nothing for them to
There's
stand on.
nothing to grow with each other about.
But also understanding that friendships, like some of them are definitely for a reason, some of them are for a season,
100%.
some of them are for a lesson, some of them, like not all of them, even the ones that you really, really want to last are going to last, which is
sad,
a tough thing.
Scary, and it's I feel like that's something that's not talked about. A friendship breakup.
Yes.
It's not talked about enough.
They are so hard.
Extremely hard because it's like completely you think that this person is going to be your best friend for life and this is the end all be all
and this is your bridesmaid.
Exactly. And that's your best friend for life.
Right.
And then it's not. And it just happens like
and it hurts so bad, genuinely. And it's not like a breakup because in relationships, you hope that they last, but they never have the longevity that a friendship will have. So when you expect something to last for eons and years and decades and through boyfriends, and then that ends, it is tough. But you have to, it's hard.
Because when you start a relationship, it's like, as much as no one wants to say it, but the thought of it ending is always there.
Yeah.
There's an always thought of it ending. It is conditional if this turns toxic.
Even if you're in love.
Cut off. Yeah, 100%.
Even if you're married.
Even if you're married. There is divorce.
Yes.
There is things set to split up. Nothing is set up to split up a friendship.
But you never think that a friendship is
exactly.
gonna end.
When you first become friends with somebody, are you thinking about, I wonder how we're not gonna be friends anymore?
Yeah, you
absolutely
never do.
not. No one thinks that. And that's why I feel like it's so much harder because it's unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
It is completely unexpected.
I mean, and sometimes you can feel them drifting apart, and it is expected. And that, watching the graduality of your friendship going from something that was really strong to something that kind of tapers out is really hard too. But I think in those moments, you have to surround yourself with other friends, other friends and family who really care about you, because they're the ones who are going to pick you up and take the place of that friend. And maybe I've experienced this where I have a friendship breakup and then the next season of my life they would have not fit in that part of my life. So sometimes there's reasons and lessons that you don't realize until you're out of it, but you just kind of have to take care of yourself while you're in it because your heart is kind of in a bruised place.
Yeah. And I feel like to touch on the fact about they wouldn't match in another part of your life, I think that trying to hold on to a friendship that's no longer there is not healthy for yourself. It's you have to when you know that it's time and you know that this friendship isn't healthy, or you know that y'all are on two different paths and your morals don't align, or there's just a lot of things that are coming in between it, it is so much easier to just let it go. And I know that it sounds terrible and it's sad and that's your best friend, but at the end of the day, sometimes you have to do what is best for you and yourself.
For sure.
And you have to let it go.
If it doesn't suit you, it does not suit you.
It doesn't.
Whenever I think of things, and I feel like sometimes God will try and show me this visual picture of trying to jam a puzzle piece, a literal puzzle piece, into this empty space of a puzzle and it not fitting, and you're just jamming the puzzle piece in there,
you want it to work,
and you want it to work so bad, but no matter how you dice it, that puzzle piece is not gonna fit in the puzzle. So you have to First, accept it. It's like the 7 stages of grief, almost. The 7 stages of grief of a friendship. Can we trademark that? Like,
Right.
because it is, you have to eventually accept that this relationship is not fitting you anymore and that there will be better for you in the future.
There's always better for you in the
Yeah.
future.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Is it possible to be good friends with someone with completely different morals and values? I feel like this year, the past couple years, America in general has gotten like really polarized and divided. So, do you think that it is possible to have completely different morals and values and be a good friend?
I believe so. I believe that it is possible, but there are a little bit of terms
Mm-hmm.
because I've also experienced with this, and because I'm a Christian and I have friends that are atheists, they do
Yeah.
not believe in God at all. And as long as you are not disrespectful towards my beliefs
I
and my
agree.
religion, then we can 110% be friends. If you're,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you're not disrespectful of my political views or anything like that, we can 110% be friends.
Right.
And I have had friendships where that does work out, and I have had friendships where it doesn't work out. Because if I'm talking about how I'm praying because I'm feeling this, and you tell me, oh, that doesn't work, oh, that's stupid, then I'm going to be like, oh,
Yeah. Like, oh, well, maybe we need to talk about
because
that.
that's just rude. And
Right.
it's like, it has nothing to do with what you believe. That's just me, and that's what I choose to do. And whatever you choose to do, I completely respect that. And I
Right.
understand that that's what helps you. And I feel like if there's a line and a boundary that you do not cross or be disrespectful to that, then you can be friends.
Yeah. I agree. I think that for some people, like, they cannot differentiate what, like, how good of a friend a person can be, even if you have slightly different views on things.
Right.
So, us having friends who have different religions and other slightly different political views is okay. You just have to, both parties have to come to that point with grace and with respect for the other person. Because if not, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work at all. Both people have to be completely
Yeah. Respectful.
respectful.
But also, if it came down to literally like the color of my skin, and that was something that you just didn't believe in, something that would protect me or something like that, then I would have to have a conversation with myself about, which is what I think you're going to talk about, like staying true to yourself
Right.
in friendships, because you never want to feel like you're conforming to whatever they want you to, or conforming to something that would make you like them better, you know?
Exactly. And to be accepted or anything. Like if someone is drinking, that's not you.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. You
Right.
have to stay true to yourself.
And
Yeah.
I think that is something in high school that a lot of people do, especially if you're new to whatever you're going into. If you're new
Yeah.
to a group, if you're new to a club, if you're new to a class, you'll try and fit like who you are into that so that you can feel like accepted, which is okay to a certain extent, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people will conform to something and then wonder, once you start to get more comfortable with that person, why they are surprised by certain things that you say, or why they don't understand like something that you would say, because you are trying to mimic who they are, you know?
Yeah. And that's not who you are. Okay. I have a question.
Okay.
How did you best heal from a friendship breakup?
Ooh. Okay. My biggest thing is time. And I know that people kind of roll their eyes. Maybe it's a cliche, but it's true. That's why people say it, because when it's first done,
Yeah.
when the stab is like firstly at your back, then you are hurt. It is fresh hurt. And those things only go away with time. So I think being patient with yourself as you're feeling these emotions, feeling anger, happiness, joy, sadness, all of these things, not allowing yourself to, or not restricting yourself rather, from a certain emotion, and allowing yourself to feel all of that along with time will help you along the way. Yeah, because I think that you can think that like you're completely over something, and then you'll see a picture, or you'll see a
Yeah.
TikTok or them in person, and you'll be like, wow, like we genuinely had such a good relationship, and what happened to it. But accepting that and then also wanting to wish the better for them is something completely, completely far. But that takes time. So I think my answer to
I completely agree with that. I
you.
think, and it is so important to feel every single emotion.
Yeah.
I have some people try to suppress it or ignore it or distract themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and that is probably one of the worst things you can do because you're delaying the inevitable.
Right.
You're going to feel it. Don't delete the pictures. Don't delete the TikToks. Don't delete. I feel like, I mean, if it's a post, okay, take it down.
Mm-hmm.
If they played dead in your face, take it down.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I don't believe in deleting them at all because when I see it, I want to cry. Like when I see it, I want to cry. So then when I come back to it and I'm not crying this time, like I know that I'm over it,
Growing.
and like that I want to be able to look at this stuff and be like, that was such a good friendship that we had,
Yeah.
and it's no longer here, and I'm okay with that. Like I've accepted that. I've whatever.
Yeah. That's funny because I'm the opposite. Like I need complete blockage from that to heal from it. Like I don't want to see it in my camera roll because then I'll feel like it'll be in my face and I can't move on from that. If I'm seeing this picture, this TikTok as if this person is still a part of my life. So I delete the TikToks, I delete the pictures, because I just, I see my camera roll. I kind of cleanse through my camera roll as something that kind of like goes on with me. And if that person isn't going on with me, then I don't really want it in my camera.
That is completely understandable.
Yeah.
I have 1,000 things in my camera roll. Like it's
I think
so
I have
bad.
8,000 photos in my camera roll, and it's bad.
Mine's like 11.
Or 11?
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that I want to talk about is low and high maintenance friendships. Now, we have talked about this at length
Yeah.
so many times because I am a low maintenance friendship kind of gal. I do not I'm kind of a calm, mellow person, so I do not like people who are super loud and require all of this attention. Um, so yeah, I love like a low maintenance friendship where we can catch up and talk with each other, and I can kind of have that space to miss you. Because in a high maintenance friendship, it's hard to miss someone who's constantly like there.
Yeah.
So I feel like with us, like I feel like we talk a lot, but we also like could talk way more than what we do now. So I feel like we give each other the space to be like, oh, I miss you. Maybe one weekend we won't hang out with each other. Maybe one weekend we hang out with other people. So I think giving each other the space to miss them also is really healthy for a relationship. And when you dog that on, then it kind of gets like, it can get a little restricting and toxic.
Yeah, I think that I've experienced both high and low maintenance friendships, and I think that the low maintenance ones probably are it's the healthier option.
Yeah.
But you probably have that person that you're with all the time, and y'all go here and here together, and it's fun and it's everything. But then I feel like about what you said, another weekend that you hang out with someone else, then it's like, oh, you're hanging out with someone else.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's
what are you doing?
yeah, like that's a problem that tends to pop up in a high maintenance kind of friendship.
Yeah.
If you don't text them this time, or you don't whatever, it starts to feel like if you're the lack of
It gets
communication,
claustrophobic.
it does a little. And maybe that's just us, and that I like because I love talking to people. Like I can talk to people all day, all night, but at the end, like I just need a little bit to myself.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
A little bit of space. And when you have someone completely on you, that's why like teen moms, y'all are great, but like to have a baby on you at all times, like taking up your space, that is a high maintenance relationship right there. That is a high maintenance relationship for 18 years. So talking about like high maintenance friendships, but that is a high maintenance relationship. So I think it's only healthy in certain relationships where that requires it. But if I have the choice, I'm gonna go low maintenance friendship.
Yeah, I would definitely choose a low maintenance friendship over a high one as well.
I have one more question for you. When do you think friendships start to become toxic? Like what are the red flags? Or wait, maybe the orange flags that you start to see and you're like,
it's not like too late.
Not too late, but
right.
you're getting there.
Some orange flags.
Yeah.
I feel like if you ever feel like you are holding back,
Yeah.
restricting yourself, something, doing, saying something. Obviously, if it's something that's like controversial,
Yeah.
that's not what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. I'm just saying in general to be yourself.
Mhm.
If you ever feel like that, that's an orange flag.
Mhm.
If you ever start feeling insecure because of something that they're doing, or you feel like they have negative like intentions or anything that just feels ill and you feel like you can't bring it up,
Yeah.
I think it's an orange flag.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's like, okay, even if you felt this way, it should be a open space that you can talk about it, or it should be something that you're like, oh, I know this person,
I agree.
and they wouldn't whatever. But what are some other orange flags? What do you think?
I think when the arguing starts to become a norm.
Oh yeah, when have we argued?
Fun fact, we've never argued.
We've argued. No. I know that they said like arguments are healthy or whatever, but I feel like it's not an argument.
Yeah.
It's literally just communication.
Yeah, like we will resolve something, or sometimes it's not that big of a deal.
It's
and
not
I'll
at
just
all.
let her have
And
it,
we're
or
just
she'll
like,
just let me have it.
I just have like a headache or something.
Yeah.
And that's literally it. Like it's never
doesn't
been
have to-
something
yeah.
that you do.
We've never had arguments, and I think also something to add to the genuine healthy friendships is that knowing the worth of the friendship, knowing the
100%.
worth of
The categories.
Right? Because you have your school friendships, and you have your church friendships, and you have acquaintances, good friends, close friends, best friends, super best friends. Those are the categories in my brain. And you have to know that the situation that you may present to your genuine friendship is not worth losing that friendship. So I think that's something with me and Mia. We do not do anything that could even could even ponder the question of losing our friendship, because it means so much to both of us. So when like friends and stuff, they like have like cheat on their boyfriends and stuff and talk about them, and like it's just not worth it. And I think that we both realize that.
Yeah, I think that the weight that our friendship holds in each other's lives
For sure.
is so great that it's nothing that I would do nothing. I wouldn't like it could be, let's say it's some boy.
Yeah.
We both like him. He's gone. Who cares about him?
Because I'll let you have him. I don't care.
No, absolutely. We would drop him.
Yeah.
I feel like we would just both be like, okay, well, it is what it is.
Right.
Because I don't even want to do something that would even jeopardize half of what we have. Like,
and
I wouldn't.
People do that. I think people don't know the weight of what they have until they lose it.
Exactly.
And that is why they lose the friendship, because they don't understand how much it matters to them. Or maybe 10 years down the road, you look back and you say, that was such a good friendship, but it was such a silly mistake or something like that made this friendship go down the drain. And so we prevent that altogether by recognizing your worth in your friendship. And I think that that's something that everyone has to do. Like, assess the worth in your relationship and ask yourself if this guy or if this situation was worth losing your friend, losing that place in your life, losing your comfort, your safety, whatever. Is that worth that?
And what you were saying previously about this person being your bridesmaid, is that really going to happen?
Yeah.
I feel like the people in the friendship have complete control over that.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yes, there are situations, yes, there are things that happen, but just like in a relationship, y'all can do this together.
Right.
Like, y'all can move past this together. Y'all can communicate through this, whatever the situation is, no matter how big or small, you can still end in being the same like amount of friends, you know? And I feel like that is something that we make sure our friendship lasts. Right. Because in my head, the category. Yeah. That, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's the highest category.
It is. So why do something little to jeopardize something that is someone who is going to be your guide?
Exactly.
Because I don't care if we're not friends. I'm going to crash your wedding. I don't even care. But we're not going to do anything initially to even cause that kind of rift or that kind of conflict or tension in our relationship, because it's not worth it
at all.
It's just not worth it. And then something else I wanted to talk about is friendships surviving like college and milestone, which I think is something that I don't know if it's talked about enough. And I feel like since we're both in high school, it's vastly approaching as we're going through high school, and having friends that obviously are not everybody's gonna, oh, we're all gonna apply to the same college and get in.
Not
No
everyone's
way.
going with you
Right.
wherever you're
Nobody,
going.
not everybody is going to go with you. And you probably are not going to go with me, as much as I don't want to talk about it because it hurts my soul. But making sure that those friendships survive college, survive the hours of distance and the new lives that y'all are taking on, because you are in different cities and you're at different colleges and you're taking different classes and you're seeing different people. And so what do you think is the key to surviving college with friendships?
I feel like I say this so much, but communication. I
Yeah.
feel like the communication is literally everything.
Right.
If I understand that you'll both be busy, so maybe you won't talk that often, but I feel like that's communicating.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm busy, so are you free Thursday? Maybe we all can FaceTime.
Set a date.
Yeah, like set up a date, a literal date with your
literal
friend.
date.
Catch up with them.
We are gonna eat ice cream at 7:30
Yeah.
on
I'm going
a
to take a
Tuesday.
train 30 minutes to come see you. What are you
Yeah.
doing this weekend? Maybe a 3-day we can go see them.
Can I fly to you on Thanksgiving break?
Right.
Communicate with one another. And also the effort. That is a huge thing. And the last thing that I want to talk about on this episode is the effort. Because, for example, I am putting 110% into this friendship. And, for example, Mia is putting 20%. You can't overcompensate for a friendship and expect it to last if the other person is not doing their job. So if you get to college and a friendship that you are really trying to maintain and just can't because of the other person happens, that is okay. And I think that is on them. Her loss. Drake's album,
her
sorry.
loss.
Yeah, her loss.
I think that's such a problem that I have dealt with a lot, the effort in a friendship, because maybe in your life their category is way higher than it is in theirs.
Yeah.
And that is a sad truth, but it is something that you do have to accept.
Right.
Because, like I said, there's always going to be better in the future. And if this person doesn't value you as much as you value them, you have to let that go.
So when you get there, put in that effort.
Yeah.
Talk to your friends, set up times. But if they are not doing that, then you have to say, okay, I've done everything I can and I really treasure this relationship, but I cannot do it. And
because
you
it's
just wash
no
your hands
longer. You're right. It's gonna be no longer what it was, and that is what it is. This is not just college, by the way. If you're from middle school, you're going to high school, you're going to two different high schools. That also applies, because there are plenty of friends that I'm no longer close with, just drifted apart.
For sure.
And it's inevitable as well. Like you are gonna drift apart from people.
And I feel like we also, fun fact, but I keep saying fun fact. But me and Mia did not go to the same school. Maybe this is our third year, I think, going to the same school.
Well, we
had pre-K. Okay.
Wait, that was pre-K through first.
Let's walk you through it. So first we went to a private school for like the first 3 years of our education. And then we went to different public school elementaries. And then we went to the same middle school for 1 year. Mm-hmm. And then we went to different middle schools after that. And then freshman year, we ended up at the same high school. So through all of that, we had to make time for each other. Yeah. Because I'm not going to see you in class. I'm not going to see you at lunch. I'm not going to see you at a club that the school has. We have to make that on our own. So I think we kind of went through a trial of that as well, of how much effort are we willing to put in to make this worth it, to make sure that we can talk to each other and maintain our friendship.
Yeah, and to ensure that both of us still felt loved by each other, even though we didn't talk this week. Maybe we, we're busy. Yeah. And communication. Yeah. I think that's all it is. That's like, it always comes back to that.
Mia's final word is communication.
That's the final word in the podcast, communication.
Okay, so to close, what are your top 5 songs?
Okay. This is in no particular order, by the way, because was I stressing over this? Just a little.
She was.
Just a little. But I've been I love Frank Ocean, so Dear April has been a song that I like. It's sad.
I've never listened to that.
Really? You actually have to. Is it a crime? Did you never?
Yeah.
Just a little
Just
one.
a little. Okay.
Yeah, like maybe state jail
Okay.
for a night. Middle of the Ocean by Drake on his new album.
Yes.
Pride by Kendrick Lamar. TV by Billie Eilish, and then Coffee Bean by Travis Scott.
I think that is a tough lineup. And is this a lineup from like the week or the month? Did you say?
Ooh, the week just started.
The week did just start.
So maybe like the past 2 weeks. Let's go like the
Sunday
past
about,
2 weeks.
Sunday being the first day.
Right.
That's for another episode. But the past 2 weeks, okay, because I feel like it changes. Constantly
100%.
changes.
Like every week. Every week and a half.
Literally.
Okay, what are yours?
Okay. No particular order because I can't do that. I really just can't. And you'll see with my list that my music taste, I will listen to Taylor Swift, and then I'll listen to Gunna. Then I'll listen to Young Dolph. Then I'll listen to Ariana Grande. And then Drake. Drake is our top artist, so we're definitely going to have probably one song every time that we need
100%. Drake is, I had to restrict myself from putting 5 Drake songs on there because I would have, but you know. Okay,
I know they're gonna think that we have no taste. Okay, let me say my 5. Okay, so Club Paradise by Drake.
Love it.
This is a little bit old, and I love all of the songs from his new album. And if I would have done it, then it would have been all 5 songs.
It would have.
So I'm going maybe, what was that, 2019? I'm going back 3 years to Club Paradise. I actually wasn't listening to it until someone put me on it, and I love it. Okay, next is I Am by Lil Baby and Gunna. I don't know, it's just like you know the song where you can just like on the go, like you can just listen to it, like you don't need to, it'll kind of like hype you up. You can it'll walk with you to class.
I understand.
That's been my song. Lone Star by Faye Webster. Kind of getting into like the kind of softer songs. I love Faye Webster, and kind of just like listening to, I wouldn't call her country, maybe not indie either, maybe alternative is what I would call her. I love that song. And I thought I'd listen to all of her songs, so finding that one was a little bit of a treat. Dear John by Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift. We have another episode, but I love her. And Dear John is an old song, but I think it's so good. Like, those car songs you can belt your heart out to.
Right.
Dear John is one of them. And then also TV by Billie Eilish. We both had Billie phases.
Oof.
And I feel like we go in and out of them. And TV is kind of bringing us back into it.
Yeah, it is. It's just like reminding me. What was I, like 7th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because her second album, is this a hot take, was not my favorite.
Which album? Wait, what's it called?
The one that has like her face on it.
Which one is that? The one that's like black with like her?
Not the black one. That's my favorite one. That's
that
the
one's
best
really
one.
good. No, literally, I think
the
that
second
one's
the one. The fact that you don't know.
Happier than ever.
I was
okay,
like, the fact that you don't know about the second one.
Hold on. Happier Than Ever is so good. Are you joking? You don't like it?
It's not that I don't like it, but I like the first one more.
You know, we're gonna discuss this, and I'm gonna play some of the music.
Episode about songs,
just music,
because we love.
My music taste is immaculate. No one can tell me otherwise. Absolutely no one.
And we haven't even like some of the artists that we both listen to is not on our top 5 today. So we'll get into that later. But I love TV by Billie Eilish. Kind of like a sweet lullaby song, which I used to listen to.
It's kind of sad that you can cry, you can not cry.
Definitely cry.
Okay, well, we have gone a little bit over time.
We have, definitely, for sure.
Thank you guys for listening
to our first episode.
Bye.
Bye.